Yep. Okay. Go!
Will you hand me my screen box?
Now go. Preach. Rah. We are here in the case of Amy Quinones versus Andy Dowser.
And this matter comes before the court today on the respondent, Mr. Dowser's motion to terminate a PPO that I granted in favor of Ms. Quinones. Looks like I signed that back on June the 4th. So I do note that we have Mr. Nolan here for Mr. Quinones, or I'm sorry, for Mr. Dowser. Mr. Nolan, would you place your appearance on the record, please?
Yes, may it please the court, Your Honor. Lawrence Patrick Nolan on behalf of the petitioner, Andy Dowser.
Now, he's the respondent, but that's okay. The petitioner is Ms. Quinones, but I've already goofed that up once.
I'm sorry.
All right. Well, Ms. Quinones, it's your burden to sustain the PPO in the face of the objection here. So I'm going to swear you in and take testimony regarding the items in your affidavit upon which I granted the PPO. I'll let Mr. Nolan cross-examine you. And I do want to caution everyone that we have a fairly limited amount of time, only about 20 minutes to get through this afternoon. If we can't get all the evidence in, we'll just simply have to continue it and do it at a date in the future. So, but for now, Ms. Quinones, would you please raise your right hand?
I do.
Very good. And would you please state and spell your name for the record?
Amy Quinones.
Very well, thank you, ma'am. And in this PPO, I granted it based on unwanted electronic communication and threats. And here, you justify the PPO when, first of all, saying that Mr. Dowser sent an email to the head rugby coach that stated how much he hates you. Was that one of the copies of emails that you attached?
Correct.
Okay. All right. And how did you get to see or read that email?
That was sent to me by the head coach. Originally, Your Honor, myself and the rugby team mom, Tina Harmson, were CC'd on correspondence back and forth. And that particular email, we were removed. And so the head coach, Sean Gent, felt that I should be aware because it appeared that Mr. Dowser was rather upset with me, even though I was not the one that sent the original email to him. I just happened to be the one he attached his anger to, I guess.
Okay. All right. And
I don't know if I'm sorry, Your Honor. I don't know if you need to know what that $20 was in reference to, but
yeah, why don't you explain that to me?
sure. Your Honor, Mr. Dowser had been contacted by the team mom, Tina Harmson, by email, and I was CC'd on it because we were selling raffle tickets for the rugby team. And a parent had reached out stating that one of their family members.
Your Honor, I don't want to interrupt Ms. Quinone, but I think if she's relying on what someone else stated or that, I don't want to continue. I know there's leniency by the court in regards to hearsay statements, but I think that this is about to be testimony by which Ms. Quinone is indicating somebody else stated.
Your Honor, it's in an email, which I may have attached to that.
Okay, if you could
I was
refer me
CC'd on
to
it.
the email, that would be helpful.
In one of the attachments dated Sunday, May 4th, is an email between myself, Tina Harmson, and Mr. Dowser.
Okay.
It's a quite lengthy email chain, but I believe I only attached the part where he refused to return the money.
Okay, and that's the email. I only have yes, I see it here, right.
Mhm.
I see. And that was the discussion about the $20. Well, and I guess the key part is where in there, where's he talking about you, Miss Quinones, in that email message?
The email message that I was forwarded from head coach Sean Gent was in response to this $20 he was refusing to give the team back.
Okay. And is
Um,
that where he says I can't stand her? That's referring to you?
correct.
Okay. All right. I get it. And both these teams are here before her and will be here after her. She's into this because of what she deals with every day, or it's what she deals with every day at school. Now, the message above that does contain quite a bit of profanity, but it appears to be
He's
from Sean Gent to Andy Dowser. It's not directed at you, correct?
correct.
Okay, all right. Well, and so the point you're making there is that in that communication, Dowser's letting you know, no uncertain terms, that he's faulting you for some of what's going on.
Correct, Your Honor. He blames me for him being caught stealing.
Okay, all right. And why don't you point me additionally, I know that when I granted this, I read
Mhm.
these at least enough to a point to say, well, it looks like there is, um, a conduct or communication that could be threatening. Why don't you point it to um, which ones are directed to you? I am looking at a text here.
Mhm.
Um, This is Thursday, 5/29/2025. A ways in. Well, you did it. You should be proud of yourself. Boys program will never be as successful as the girls because of people like you. You're fake. I am real people and can see that. Is that directed to you?
Correct. That was a text message sent to me by Mr. Dowser after his meeting with the administrators at Rockford Public Schools where he was fired.
Got it. And if down there later you say, well, stop contacting me and leave me and my kids alone. And the response is, I don't care, or I don't know who this is.
Correct.
Okay. All right. And can you point me to anything else in there that's disparaging or harassing or threatening that's directed straight at you?
Uh, the text message prior to that, dated May 7th,
Okay.
I was informed by Officer Ryan Morin at Rockford Public Schools that Mr. Dowser had
Your
been
Honor, again, I'm going to place an objection
Yeah,
to
we
your,
can't say what he says. If it's in a text message that's directed to you or authored by you, I can take a look at it. But if it's just something the officer said, then that's going to be hearsay and not permissible unless I hear it directly from the officer, and we can reconvene and bring him in. However, let's get as much as we can. Is the information relayed in the message itself anywhere?
the there in one of the emails from Officer Morin advising me to get the PPO does state that he was issued a no trespass letter from Rockford Public Schools.
Okay. All right. So that's what, and that's the officer saying, hey, you might want to get a PPO because of this tension or bad blood, whatever it is, and his interactions with supposedly with Mr. Dowser.
Correct. Mr. Dowser had been advised by the school district
Not to be on the property.
not to be on the property, and he has persistently shown up disregarding that order as recently as just a couple weeks ago.
When he shows up, is he making contact with you, or is he just violating the no trespass order or the no trespass?
Two specific occasions he sought me out personally,
Okay.
which
Has
is
he
why
said
Officer
anything?
Morin suggested getting the PPO,
Got it.
which one of them is that text from May 7th, which
Okay.
is just above the,
Let me
he
see.
was at the field. Mr. Dowser was at the field when he wasn't supposed to be. And he was watching what I was doing apparently, because he would have not have known that I was, like he said, you guys need to stop and take down the
I
girls'
see.
flags. that he was on the property when he wasn't supposed to be.
Okay.
And watching
In
that I was
violation of the no trespass, there's no PPO yet, but
correct.
okay, I understand what you're saying.
And
All
then
right.
on a second occasion, he came back and was waiting outside of the concessions booth where I was working for me to come out the side door where the employees come out, or the volunteers rather. And I was informed by the athletic director to stay in concessions, and he had
Your
called
Honor,
Officer
again,
Morin.
I'm going to object to what somebody told. It's very difficult, as the court can appreciate, when I have the witness testify as to what people told her when those people haven't been named, or I have no way of verifying. Ergo, the hearsay rule.
No, I totally understand, Mr. Nolan. However, in this case, she did say it was the athletic director. She's not offering it for the truth of the matter, asserted anything said about Mr. Dowser, but rather I think she's offering that for the fact that the athletic director said, hey, this guy's out there. You should stay in the concession stand and not go by where he is. I think that's what that was offered for. Yeah. Okay. All
That is
right.
correct,
Thank
Your
you.
Honor. There was also Officer Morin, I believe, did have to file some paperwork as he did again violate that.
Again, objection, Your Honor. How does she know that he had to file paper? She's indicated that he was fired. He's not even employed. You can't fire somebody that's a volunteer. They either quit or it's not a job that he was being paid for. It's a volunteer job. This is a couple of coaches in regards to, and I see Miss Quinones laughing and shaking her head, but I'm serious. This doesn't rise to the level of a PPO. I understand the court's reasoning and filing it on any ex parte basis on filing a PPO because it's a very limited period of time and somebody can come in and object and have a hearing like we're doing now. But this is a situation where I don't know what all these people told Miss Quinones, but I do know he wasn't fired from the Rockford Public School because he's never been employed there.
Sure, he
he was
might
a
have been no trespassed and told his volunteer position was ended, but you're right, he was never an employee. Wasn't
Correct.
a termination in that
If,
sense.
if I may, Your Honor,
Yeah, go ahead.
he actually was employed by Rockford Public Schools, all club sports, the Rockford Public Schools. There's even a current job opening for the new head coach position for that team. All employees, and by that it doesn't mean paid or not paid. However, there is a stipend associated with that head coaching position. And all volunteers are in essence employee of Rockford Public Schools. I myself work for Rockford Public Schools. As a volunteer, as a parent volunteer, as a volunteer coach, an actual coach, a coach of a club, we're all hired, background checked, and approved by the school district. In his position, there is a stipend associated with the head coach, even of a club sport. And
Yeah, so
as I
technically,
submitted in that,
there are some indicators of employment,
yes,
though it's not the same as your position, for example, where you are a full-time employee of the school with a pay rate and a title and all that stuff. Right, and I
correct.
do remember I have said on the Eastern Rapids a couple club sports boards here for crew and wrestling, and it's a similar thing where the athletic director still has the say over hiring and firing. They still do all the background checks, though the parents, in the case of club sports, of course, finance the team and wind up paying the stipend through fundraising and that sort of thing. So at least that's how our system works. So I'm a little bit familiar with it. Well, and I guess what I'm taking away from this, Ms. Quinones, is based on the content of those messages, saying, where at least Mr. Dowser appears to say, you're fake. I'm real people. I can see that. And then later, he sent you an earlier message saying kind of get your flags off the field, a little more team related, but you're saying it was when he was not supposed to be there. And then another email here where he says, in this, it looks like it's from Mr. Dowser. He says, I can't stand her. You're putting together the animus expressed in those messages, though some of it not. I mean, the one is expected to you, you're fake. The other one, I can't stand her, is him talking to someone else about you. And then his presence, when he's been out, no trespass, and he appears to be moving into the areas where you're present and he's not supposed to be.
Correct. There was also one additional text message I received from a parent. I did reach out to the parent
Again.
and to the player.
Okay,
I
was it
submitted that.
included? Did you include the
Yes.
text?
Yes, sir. That was included with the original PPO.
Was this the
report.
one at the gym about the old rugby player kind of thing?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, that would definitely be hearsay about under any definition of it. But the good news is, you need to establish two incidents that might make you feel harassed or threatened. You've established more than that, so that's enough to sustain the PPO. However, I'll hear any cross-examination from Mr. Nolan at this time, and then at least hear an initial argument and whether or not we need to continue the hearing. So, Mr. Nolan, you may cross-examine.
Thank you, Judge Rossi. Ms. Quinone, you sought out this personal protection order on an ex parte basis. Is that correct?
I sought the personal protection order for my safety. The ex parte was the only option afforded online.
That's what I asked you.
You asked
And
me
this
if I
was-
specifically
This was on
requested it.
June. This was on June 4th of this year, 2025.
I can look at the original date. I believe that is correct.
And you
You
were
were asking. Sorry, go ahead.
You were petitioning the court for an order to restrain certain conduct. Is that correct?
I petitioned the court so that he could not be near me, correct? Or contact me.
Well, I'm asking you if you petitioned the court for certain protection.
That would be a true statement. Yes.
And did you fill that request for the ex parte order before Judge Rossi yourself, or did you have somebody else help fill you in?
I submitted the petition myself.
Did you get together with Mr. Gent before you filed this and check the boxes?
No, Mr. Gent was not involved in the death threat or
Mrs.
anything else that was
was-
going on.
Was Mrs. Gent?
No.
So you asked the court, you checked the boxes with an X, is that correct?
I think we established that I am the one that submitted the petition and filled it out. That is correct.
So that's a yes answer. Some of these will be yes or no. Stalking, has he followed you or appeared within your sight?
Yes. On 4
Okay.
occasions.
Well, that's a compound question, I'm sorry. Has he followed you?
Followed me? Like
Yes. Followed you.
on
places.
June 14th, yes.
On June 14th, but you filed this petition on June 4th.
Correct. That's because he was stalking me and made a death.
So where was he stalking you? Was he following you to your home?
It was at the rugby stadium on Rockford Public Schools property where he sought me out.
Was that a tournament that was being held there with a bunch of maybe 10 or 11 girls teams and 10 or 11 boys teams?
No, that was our
Did
senior.
Mr. Dowser coach your son?
No, he was relieved of that duty.
Well, so he did coach him, but you're saying he was relieved.
Correct.
Was that because you had something to do with that?
No, I don't
Was he
have the power to
did
have
he-
anybody removed.
Did he coach your daughter?
In the past, he has been a coach of my daughters, correct?
And he's coached as a volunteer many of the girls' teams that girls were sent on to scholarships on Ivy League schools such as Harvard or Yale or.
I wouldn't know that, nor do I feel that's relevant.
Well, wait a second. Weren't you a parent of children? How many children do you have?
I don't believe that's relevant to this proceeding.
Well, how many, you just have to answer yes or no. Do you have children?
Yes, I have children.
You have two children, a boy and a girl that he coached both of them on.
Yes,
So is this about the past? How many years ago did he coach your son?
I have known Mr. Dowser for 7 years, if that is what you're trying to get to.
Is it a good, have you had a good relationship with him for 7 years?
Up until he thought I got him fired, yes.
Okay, and so that was in May of this year?
Correct.
Did you ever feel threatened by entrusting your children to him as their coach during the 7 years previous to May of 2025?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Sure. Did you ever feel threatened when you entrusted your children to him for the last 5 years prior to May of 2025?
Prior to May of this year, I had not felt threatened by Mr. Dowser, no.
And you entrusted your children, both a boy and a girl, to him. Is that correct?
I think you're reading a little into what that's saying. If you're asking if I allowed my children to participate on a team he was coaching, that would be correct.
Thank you. Thank you. And you never complained, did you? About Mr. Dowser prior to May of 2025?
No, I'd also not been threatened prior to May.
Well, I see you maybe it's a idiosyncrasy, but you tend to laugh after you say that. I think
I'm not laughing.
Mr. Dowser is looking at it as a pretty serious thing that you're requesting a judicial court like Judge Rossi to issue an injunction or preliminary.
I just fail to see where this line of questioning is going. If we want to talk about the facts, sir, the fact is the way your client behaved was irreprehensible.
I'll let you respond afterwards. You'll have a chance to do what's a reply statement to what you've been asked about if you want to clarify anything. But just for now, try to answer Mr. Nolan's questions because, as I said, we're on a sort of a time frame. So the faster I get the information on the record, the better we are. So you may continue, Mr. Nolan.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Jan. So did he ever follow you or stalk you? Where did he follow you to? You mean from one end of the field to the other?
I don't. On June 14th, correct. It was from one field to another field.
Isn't it true that you went to the bench where he was sitting watching the games and videotaped him?
No, I've never sat next to him, nor did I videotape him.
I didn't say you sat next to him. Listen to my question. Because and I'd appreciate it. I don't think this is funny. Maybe that's just an idiosyncratic habit that you have, but you laugh after this, and I've just asked that you just answer the question. I don't think it's funny. You've gone out and you've asked that he should not approach you or confront you in a public place or on private property, correct?
Correct.
And you asked the judge to issue an order to that effect. Is that correct?
Correct.
Has he entered onto or remained on property owned, leased, or occupied by you?
Not since the PPO was enforced.
When did he do it before then?
Not on property I owned.
Okay, that's one of them. On property that you leased?
No.
On property that you occupied by the patient, occupied?
As in my place of employment, yes.
And what was that at? Rugby tournaments or games on the soccer field or the rugby field?
He came to the rugby stadium and came to a tournament that we were at.
Did he ever come into your office at Rockford Public Schools?
No.
Did he ever threaten you at your place of employment?
threaten me to my face at my place of employment, no.
You're asking that he not send any mail or communications, is that correct?
Correct.
And that he not contact you by telephone. Has he contacted you by telephone?
Not since the PPO has been enforced.
Had he done that before, contacted you by telephone?
Yes.
And when was that?
Aside from the text messages that I presented in court,
Before the PPO, correct.
all of the text messages that we have mentioned prior to these questions, and I have been in fairly constant communication with him as I was the team mom for the girls rugby team this past fall, of
And
which
there
he
was a-
was the head coach until he left for medical reasons.
And did the other coach, Sean, did he leave for medical reasons?
Not during the girls' seasons, no.
Okay, so when is the girls' season?
In the fall, usually August through November-ish.
And these are high school age children, correct?
Correct.
And when is the boys' season?
Usually February through June.
And you never had a complaint with him about your son playing for him or being coached by him?
He didn't specifically
Is
coach
that
my
correct?
son. He did not directly coach my son. He was one of the assistant coaches, but he was not the one that directly coached my son.
Oh, okay, you got me on that. So what you're saying is, I use the word coach, and coach means to you head coach, and so you're saying he didn't head coach my son. But if I
No,
use the
that's
word
not what I'm
coach,
saying.
are you agreeing that assistant coach is a coach? Or do you think they don't say anything or do anything to the children? They just stand there like bumps on a log.
That is two separate questions, which I'm very happy to answer.
Good.
There are multiple coaches. If you're unfamiliar with rugby, there are different positions that have different coaches. There is a
Look.
head coach that is a, would you like me to finish?
Yes.
There
I
is a head
apologize.
coach. Thank you. There is a head coach that oversees the entire team. Then there are assistant coaches that coach specific positions. The forwards, the backs, the special teams, the kicker. There's multiple assistant coaches. And this year we had, I believe, approximately 5 assistant coaches. So while Mr. Dowser was originally one of the assistant coaches, he was not the coach that directly interacted with my son, if that's what you're asking.
Okay.
Right. And I hate to interrupt, but we are getting to that point, Mr. Nolan. I'm now well into the time that I am supposed to have started another 2 hearings, and I promised Lisa I would stay somewhat on track.
Yeah.
And I guess the 2
apologize.
options, we can continue this to a future date, and I can set aside a full hour or whatever we need to get it finished. Or we could make a brief closing argument now and then continue. How would you like to handle it, Mr. Nolan?
Well, if we can do it in the near future, Your Honor, I'd like to do it because obviously it's a 6-month PPO,
Yes.
but my client is a assistant coach for the women's team at Aquinas College. He's very well respected, and this is a parent that was involved. They got into an argument. I coached travel hockey for 9 years, and I understand that parents always aren't happy, but I had a number of assistant coaches, and I didn't define those as non-coaches because they were only coaching the defense.
No, I get it. Well, and I guess here's what I'm driving at is now in his position with Aquinas, is he going to have any occasion to be up in Rockford? Does Aquinas play any matches or scrimmages or anything of that nature up there?
Well, I think that he's been to the field because he coaches a club team for youth, both, I know he did both boys and girls, but because of the situation, and this is all volunteer, and I'm sure, Your Honor, you're aware of the many hours that a lot of people put forth because they want to help people advance in a
Yes,
certain sport.
we want to help our kids participate in what they like to do. I hear you.
But this was a dispute between money that was being used from the girls' club that Mr. Dowser um, handled and coached and separated fundraiser, and was being used for the boys' team. And Miss Quinone was using that money to pay for the boys' expenses.
Well, I
And
don't want to
she,
get too far into the weeds on the underlying part here. I guess what I'm trying to ask is, well, first of all, let me see when we can get that hearing date, because soon is a relative term in the legal world, as you know, Mr.
right,
Nolan.
right.
Lisa, when can we set it? Give this an extra hour?
September 25 at 11 on Zoom.
All right, that is a little ways out in the future, because we're only at August 1st now. And I guess what I was trying to drive at is, if the order stays in place, is it going to limit Mr. Dowser in any way from doing his job as an assistant at Aquinas?
Your Honor, may I have Mr. Dowser just address that? Maybe.
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Dowser. Why don't you speak to that issue?
You're on mute, Andy. Can you take yourself off mute?
Yep.
Can you
Okay.
talk?
Yes. It will not have any effect on my employment with Aquinas University. I would like to just add 3 quick facts. I was never hired by Rockford. I never received any type of paperwork or contract. I just had to pass a fingerprint scan, basically, to keep my job every year. I was never paid anything.
Yeah, no,
Never employed.
I never suspected this. Any of these were paid positions. Just knowing the nature of rugby in general and club sports in general as well. I know that, and even the paid coaches. I think we figured out one time we were paying our wrestling coach about $1 an hour, for all the time he put in with the kids. So yeah, it's not if it's paid, it's not well paid. So. However, growing up with a dad who was a coach in the Catholic schools, I totally understood that. So I'm pretty sure he did it because he loved it, not because he was making any money doing that. So what I'm going to do here is let's continue this on the 25th as stated, since it's not going to impact Mr. Dowser's day to day. Or is there something you want to add, Mr. Dowser?
It affects my day to day because I'm a real estate appraiser. I go in and out of people's houses. I can't have this on my record. And as far as the no trespassing goes, that was issued May 29th by the school. I never broke that in any way. The PPO was issued on 6/14, and I was coaching at a tournament that day. So yes, I am going to be at these tournaments. We did not have any interaction with Miss Kionis on that day that she cites.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to hash this out at the hearing. I hear your concern about the
conversation.
Yeah, no, we're going to have to just have you sworn in, and you can give testimony, and then Ms. Quinones will have to have the chance to cross-examine you. I just don't have time to get the full story out today. Sometimes these can be resolved, fairly quickly, but as I think that through, that's only when only one of the parties shows up, and then they automatically win or lose. In this case, since we got both parties and both parties are able to testify, no one's going to voluntarily dismiss that. It doesn't sound like sometimes that happens as well. We just simply have to set, because of my schedule, for a different day. In the meantime, it shouldn't, these are civil orders. They wouldn't show, for example, if someone ran a background check on you, they're not going to show as an arrest, a conviction, or anything like that would have any basis for, a realtor, as long as you're not going on Ms. Quinones' property to buy or sell property. I don't think it's going to have any limiting impact on your ability to, practice your profession. If you dispute that and you want to file something written with Mr. Nolan, I can reconsider that even between the two hearings and issue a written opinion. But because I don't like to, deprive anyone of their ability to make a living doing these. These are basically called peace bonds that kind of separate the parties from, a reasonable distance from each other until things cool down. And as Mr. Nolan pointed out, that's why they're relatively short in duration. So I don't think it's going to keep you from earning a living as a realtor. In short, Mr. Dowser, I know it's not anything anyone wants to necessarily have floating out there, but these are limited in their application to any interactions between you and the petitioner. They're personal, as the title of the order states. So at this time, I'm just going to have to continue the hearing. The order will remain in place, and we'll continue it on September 25th.
Your Honor, may I just have a couple of questions? First, I'd like to say, Mr. Dowser does not have a handgun or a long rifle or anything else. He doesn't carry a weapon. So that's not a threat. But I cannot, as an agent, I'm bound by Your Honor's order, and I can't reach out to Mrs. Quinones like we could if she had an attorney, or if there wasn't a PPO preventing an agent or representative contacting her. But I would invite her to see if we could get this resolved somehow, and before that date where we're going to take up the court's time. I don't think Mr. Dowser's has any contact. I'd like to simplify this. I understand that there's some animus between the two. I'm not blaming her. I'm not blaming him. It exists. But if the period of time that we've had since Your Honor issued the order, there's been no contact and no phone messages and no texts, and he shows up at a team tournament on a ground where Mrs.
She's also there because her kid plays. I get it. No, and I've encountered that sports team conflict before with PPOs, and sometimes you can work it out. Ms. Quinones, do you intend to retain an attorney in this matter?
I hadn't thought I would need an attorney.
Well, would you, and I guess then that leads into my next question is, would you be comfortable if Mr. Nolan reached out to you? It would be obviously in a professional sense. He's the attorney for Mr. Dowser, but the purpose for him reaching out to you would be to craft a more tailored protective order, if we could, that would protect your interests, but also let Mr. Dowser go about his day. There are a variety of ways to do that. There's no real magic to a personal protective order that makes it different than any other type of court order. And the other advantage to you is there. You could explore. I guess would you be comfortable with Mr. Nolan contacting you directly?
I'm going to be quite transparent here, Your Honor. I don't feel there's any point, because I do not intend to offer any
change it or modify it without a court order.
Okay. Correct. I do not feel, I wholeheartedly feel that the only reason he hasn't contacted me or been around me is due to the personal protection order, which prevents him from doing so. I don't believe that Mr. Nolan could offer me any kind of personal relief that would assure me that he would stay away. And quite frankly, the reasons in their petition to terminate, or their motion to terminate, don't hold water for me. I don't believe that this personal protection order affects his livelihood in any way. He said clearly it won't affect his job at Aquinas. It shouldn't affect his job as an appraiser, because I would not be asking him to appraise any property I was looking at or owned. I do, however, believe that this personal protection order is the only thing keeping myself breathing right now. I don't take this lightly, and wouldn't have asked for it if I didn't feel it was absolutely necessary.
Okay, well, and I don't know, of course, the depths of the the interpersonal relationship here. I will say, if it's any reassurance, generally when someone shows up to one of these with an attorney, it means they're taking the legal part of it seriously, and that's the avenue they're going to pursue, rather than, these are designed to prevent that exact sort of thing where it's self-help and people are breaking other people's windows or beating them up and stuff of that nature. And just simply, in my, again, brief experience with you, well, not brief, now I've done these for 4 or 5 years, when someone appears at the hearing and makes, genuine legal arguments with an attorney, that means they're going to take the legal road. So if that's any assurance, to you, that appears to be the path that Mr. Dowser has chosen. However, it is your order, so it's in your court. We'll just continue with the hearing. If you change your mind or you think there's something perhaps you can work out with Mr. Nolan, that along the lines of a compromise and then not have the necessity of that hearing, I'm always open to that as long as it's agreed to and signed off on by both parties. So otherwise, I'll see the both of you at the end of August, because I've really got to go now. Or Lisa's gonna, I'm gonna need a protective order against her.
I don't want Lisa upset with you, Your Honor, but I will say that I'm taken aback by the fact that she says that the only reason she's alive because insinuates that Mr. Dowser would kill her, would commit
I'm not
murder.
seeing that anywhere in here, but then I take it in the context of, well, he is a rugby coach. They are rugby players, as I was once, are known to be rough and tumble. However, I haven't seen any indication of that either. And the very fact that, of course, he's coaching young people would militate against that as well. So I don't perceive there as being an enormous risk of physical violence here. I'm just trying to keep the peace, as it were, by keeping the order in place until we can have the full-blown hearing. So with my thanks to all parties for showing up this afternoon, with that, the matter's adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
We are here in the case of Darnell Gay versus Renee Campbell, case number 25-05147PH. This hearing is being recorded on Zoom and live streamed on YouTube.
And this matter comes before the court today on Ms. Campbell's request to terminate the personal protective order that I granted in favor of Ms. Gay back on June 14th of 2025. I do have to tell you, both ladies, and apologize in advance. I have gotten us behind just through my fault and my failure to move these cases as fast as I'm supposed to move them this afternoon. So I'm a little bit short on time. I don't have time to take extensive testimony on it. I think what I'd like to do is let me see here. Yeah, I'm already 2 hearings behind, unfortunately. Okay, so we're just going to have to keep it quite short. And I guess the way I'll do it is I'll swear in Ms. Gay, take her testimony as to the basis for the PPO. I will hear in a response from Ms. Campbell why I should terminate the PPO, and then I can make a ruling. So, Ms. Gay, if you would please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that your testimony today will be the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Very good. And to support this protective order, you stated that there were a couple of incidents here, one of them being Ms. Campbell throwing eggs at your house. Tell me what happened on that occasion.
After the incident happened, after the altercation with, her and everybody else on the Hall Street,
Yes.
They threw eggs at my home.
Was
and
it
then
during that same big brouhaha on the blow up, or was it later that day or in the evening? When did it happen?
later.
Okay.
And
All right.
then
And who are the egg throwers that you saw?
Renee and her daughter.
And you saw them actually throw eggs at your house?
Yes, because the next day she was on the neighbor's porch, just keep yelling. I didn't throw eggs. I have cameras all around my home, all around it. And I have my cameras, if you come anywhere towards my perimeter of my property, it captures you. It was her and her daughter. They were throwing eggs. And then the next day she was on the neighbors on their porch, just constantly yelling at my house. I've never had a conversation with her yelling. I haven't thrown eggs. And then therefore, after that, every single day, she was yelling and screaming how she should have killed me. She would have shot me. I had friends calling me because she kept on going online and live streaming how she should have hurt me if I didn't have cameras at my house. And I did submit those. And I was also on the phone with the police on one of the incidents when she was yelling and screaming how she was going to kill me. And I also have a video of her personally, as well as someone sent me one when they were calling me out of concern because of her threats to harm me.
Okay. And my next question, you said you submitted the films, you submitted them to the police department?
Yes, I did.
Report?
The lives that people were sending me, as soon as they sent them to me, with her ranting and raving about how she was going to kill me, I went right downtown to the police department and I sent it to them. That's two of her telling me she's going to threaten me. I got one actually with her video, and I have her ranting in the backyard, just yelling and screaming and scaring my grandkids, telling them that how she's going to hurt me. And it just went on and on. And I have witnesses, guests over, like, oh my God, you have to listen to that? I'm like, yes. She keeps
Okay.
threatening
Well,
me.
let me see what Ms. Campbell has to say about it. Ms. Campbell, would you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that your testimony today will be the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Very good. Ms. Campbell, you say in your response here, you think there should be a termination. It does say you're off probation. What were you on probation for?
I was on probation for the incident with her daughter and stuff. And ever since I've been off probation, she's been harassing me and my I have an 18-year-old daughter. And so she has a daughter that's my age or whatever, and stuff. So basically, ever since that incident, she's now that her daughter, so she basically got her daughter, her grandkids, and like her nieces and them making up stuff. I never once threw eggs at her house. I never said nothing to her. She came to my house, her and her daughter and her grandkids. I
Hang on,
never
you gotta let her testify, Miss Gay, and then I'll give you a chance to respond.
now since she came to my house, that was May 31st. I have two incidents from this year. May 31st, which I put in the police reports, in February 9th, which was the Super Bowl weekend. She has cameras. I've been living over here for 3 years. I never she has ring cameras and everything. I never said nothing before then, and I never said nothing after. She's just trying to prolong it because now that she wants to get in the mess with her daughter and her grandkids. Now she's trying to say this and that or whatever and stuff. And that was she made the PPO what June. May, my daughter's birthday was May 25th. So it was sometime after, like, then in July, in June or something. That's when she's making these reports. I never threw eggs at her house or whatever, and I would never turn my 18-year-old daughter to throw eggs at her house. She said she never called the police. If I threw eggs at her house, why didn't she call the police? She came over here with a mob of people, her whole generation and stuff. It's only me and my daughter and my 9-year-old daughter. I have a 9-year-old daughter and an 18-year-old. Today, my daughter turned 19, so they're 10 years apart. That's not true. I never said that. Yeah, I left in an ambulance. They assaulted me, her and her kids. And she has the background. You can look on the camera. She drove her car over to my house. I never once went over to her house. She
Well,
came over
you're
to.
talking about the big fight that happened in the street on Zeno Street?
It didn't happen. It happened on Hall Street, not
Or Hall
Zeno.
Street? Okay.
Yes, she came over. Her family came over to
Yeah,
my
I
house.
don't want to reissue the fight because she's saying, well, since that fight, this
Nothing never
thing
happened.
escalated.
Since after that, yes, she's been calling CPS. They've been calling the city. They've been calling, making, now she's trying to do a PP and fearing her life or whatever. Lady, I've been staying here for 3 years. I never, come on now. I never said nothing to her. I never, some eggs. It,
And you're not yelling at her from the back porch where she could
no,
hear from her
no,
house.
I am not. You can ask the judge. You can get active and come to the neighborhood. I've been staying here. They saying that me and my kids, now she's going around saying my 9-year-old daughter with a taser. They brought the taser to the fight, and then my 9-year-old daughter
Yeah,
picked it
well, the
up.
taser's not part of this PPO,
I
so
know,
I'm going
but
to
this
leave
is
that
it.
thing
But it
alone.
was led up to, is what leading up
Yeah,
to this
I get
mess
it.
or whatever and stuff. Um,
Let
I
me
never
bounce
said
back to
nothing.
Miss Gay and I ask her about that. Miss Gay, have you been making CPS calls about Miss Campbell's parenting?
I have never called CPS. Miss Campbell, Judge, I have proof of everything that I've submitted. I have proof of her. I have my ring camera is what her coming in the backyard yet threatening me. I also have her on Facebook. I have all of the recordings. As far as her talking about, I came around and Miss Campbell don't understand it. She doesn't want to tell the truth. When I came around there, I tried to ask them not to have any altercation, and she keeps making up this stuff like nobody wants to harm her. I don't have no business like messing with her, and she doesn't have any messing with me. I'm not that type of person. She was found guilty for whatever reason with her and my daughter. I don't get in that stuff. I'm a whole grown person and an individual. I ask that you please keep this granted, because ever since you've granted this PPO, the yelling has stopped. I have not been threatened. She has not been online posting things about me. So I ask you, please, for my safety, because I don't need this unstableness, because I can prove it to you. I don't have to keep making up. I got video of
Yeah.
everything that I'm saying.
Okay. No, I think what I'm going to have to do is I can't tell, you're both telling me really the opposite things. That, the other person's the instigator here. And in this format, without seeing the video evidence and things like that, I really
Yep.
don't feel like I can make a decision on the termination. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to adjourn this hearing to a future date. And my question to you then, Miss Gay, is to show me those videos. Would you be
Yes.
able to do it in a Zoom format like this, or are you going to need to come into
Yes.
the
I
courtroom?
can I can I don't know how you do it on Zoom. I can even send it to you via email. I have
You can
all of
send me
it.
the files via email?
Yes, I can. If you give me an email address, I'll send it to you right away, sir.
Okay, let's do it that way, and then I'll have a look
Yes.
at them, and I can also email them then to Miss Campbell so she can look at them, and then
Yes.
we'll have them ahead of the next hearing. Miss Campbell, did you have a question or something to say? You're muted, ma'am.
I have evidence too, sir, and I would like to present the evidence, which she should have been presented the evidence. She been did this in June, so why didn't she present the evidence?
Well,
Basically,
she
her
sent it
daughter
with the
is
police
coaching her.
report, but
Basically,
I
her
can't get
daughter.
it. I can't look at it. If she submitted to the police download, they do have an evidence.com site, but it's not something that I can easily access. Um, uh, you know, uh, it's just easier for her to submit it directly. Because really it's a separate case. This is a civil case. It's got nothing to do with criminal activity, although I know the underlying things that do involve some police reports. Ms. Campbell, what sort of evidence do you have that you would like to submit?
I have the police report from that day, that she said with the eggs throwing. I have that evidence, and I also have the evidence when she came to my house with her and her daughters, and I also have evidence. She's saying the stuff about with her daughter. That's have nothing to do. That's why she's
Yeah, it's a separate case. I get it.
so,
I'm not
and she
considering
keep
that.
it's nothing. I don't have now she brought this among herself, and then two, you're a judge. You can go to CPS. You can go to
Well, you
CPS
might
and
think
see.
that a lot of people think it's that easy, but the truth is I don't really have much better access to CPS and records of that sort than any other person does. I'd have to obtain releases and all that stuff. And the truth is, in the context of a
Well, I
personal
have the
protective
proof.
order, we don't typically do it that way.
Well, I have the I have the allegations in the reports and stuff, and the stuff that her daughter is saying too, because basically her daughter is coaching her.
Okay. Well, I mean, if it's attributed to her and you think I should read it during the hearing or advance of the hearing, you
Okay.
can submit it to me. I'll take a look at it, and then I'll
Okay.
try to make the best decision I can at the next hearing. And any documents or evidence that you want to submit, we can take scanned copies or photos by email, and we can also you can drop off any copies you have, or discs or thumb drives can go to our PPO office, and they'll get them up to me. So I'll give you both those options, and Lisa has the job of pulling all that evidence together so I can look at it before the next hearing. Lisa, when's that next hearing date going to be?
Is it going to, it will be
It's going to be
September.
on Zoom if we can manage this digital evidence.
Yep. September 25 at 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
September what day?
September 25 at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
And do you both need Lisa's email so that
I do. So I'll
submit
send it
evidence?
over to her right now, Judge.
Okay.
Go ahead with the email, please.
Okay. Are we off the record, Judge?
Yes.
And please include on the email your case number
Okay.
so I can reference that.
Hold on. Can I confirm?
I'm going to
the
refill
case
my
number?
water, Lisa. I'll be right back.
Oh, the case number is up at the right. Is that case number 2505147PH?
Yep. And my
Okay.
email is Lisa, Lisa,
Mm-hmm.
dot Baird, BAIRD, at Kent County MI.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Kent County .gov. MI.
Kent County MI.gov.
Okay. Can I confirm that? Repeat that back to you,
Sure.
please.
Yep.
It's LISA.BAIRD at kentcountymI.gov.
That's correct.
And you said also include the case number when I initiate those as well?
Yes, please. So I can
Okay.
easily determine what it's for.
Yes, yes. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Okay. I was trying to hear it again. It was LIS what? SA.
LISA
Mm-hmm.
dot BAIRD.
Wait, you said BA?
BAIRD
IRD
at Kent County
at
MI.
Kent
Wait.
Kent County.
Kent County MI.
You said
.gov.
MI.
Yes.
.gov. Okay. Oh, now that she's not on the phone, I was gonna say can I because I had laser surgery with my eyes and stuff, but she doesn't know that, so I really can't see or whatever. Could I do my proof, because I had laser surgery a couple months ago, and my foot, my toe was gonna get amputated, so I'm in rehab for that and stuff, but she doesn't know that.
Is that
what I'm
all
saying?
happening on that date of that hearing, Miss Campbell?
What?
Do you know you're going to be in the hospital on the September the 25th when I just scheduled the hearing?
September 24th, I gotta go to the podometrist. But what I was saying is, I'm saying, can I put in the evidence like I had laser surgery? I just had laser surgery. I go to a retina specialist. That's what I'm saying. I don't be involved in that because I'm sick and stuff. I'm in recovery. I've been in recovery for a couple months now.
You can submit the evidence if you want. When you submit it to us, however, she will be able to see it because we share it with the other party. So I'll
And see,
leave
I
that
don't
to you.
want them to know. I don't want her daughter and them to know that I'm sick. Sick and stuff or whatever. Because luckily, that day she drove her car to my house, so I was able to lean on her car when they came to my
Yeah.
house.
Well, I'll tell you, right, just keep us posted. And if you're in the hospital or unable to see on the day that we have the hearing, just let us know. You can tell us that, just that medical issue, and you can submit that separately, and we can just set a different date for it when you're healed up.
Okay, no, I already had this surgery. I had the
Oh,
surgery a couple months ago. I'm just in recovery. Like I still see gray spots and stuff or
yeah.
whatever, but the neighbor don't know that I can't see. So that's
Okay.
what I'm
No, I
saying.
won't reveal it unless you direct me to.
I
So,
don't no, I don't want y'all to, because then they will have the upper hand on knowing that I'm sick and stuff. She doesn't know that I'm sick. That's why she's making everything up. But I said I could send in proof. I go to a laser specialist, a retina specialist. If you know what that is I lost my eyesight for 5 days. So I had
yeah, no,
surgery.
I do know it's part of your eye, and I know it could impact that. And like I say, if you think it impacts the case here, if you're saying, well, I couldn't see, so I couldn't like throw an egg or something because I might throw it in the wrong direction, I'll leave it to you to decide if you want to introduce that. But
Okay.
anything that you introduce, she will learn about inevitably. So, that's, I'm just going to leave it
Just
up to you as we get
okay.
closer to the
I
day.
just don't. Yeah, and I just, for my safety and stuff, or whatever, because that laser surgery, that's really, you know, special when I can see. I can see
Yeah,
for a
no,
couple days.
I've had people that I know go through that and say, great, when you first go through it, particularly, it doesn't always come out perfect. So,
Yeah, like I had headaches and stuff, so like my head was hurting, but yeah. But okay, thank you. I will send in the stuff. I'm not gonna send it in like today and stuff, but I'll send it in like because today's Cheyenne's birthday, so I'll try to send it in by next week.
that'll work well. Thank you.
Okay,
Okay,
thank
thank
you.
you. Have a good weekend.
You as well.
Got to be kidding me. What is going on today? This is a joke. This is a joke. Today is a absolute joke. It's an interpreter.
I need an interpreter when I cannot express myself somehow.
Oh my God, sir, put that cigarette out. I don't give a crap that you are outside of this. What is wrong with everybody today? You know what, Miss Green? We're going to start bringing people in first. We're going to learn how to act in a courtroom.
Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Ma'am? Ma'am? Can you hear it? Okay.
Come and go, so no patience. At the end of the day, I'm sitting up here, I'm the one that needs a drink.